Okay, so welcome learners and viewers on today's lesson, which is about properties of matter. As you remember, this topic I've been running through since last week on it. So today we are going to start on Standard 6 work under the same topic we call as properties of matter. This is a topic that's very short in class 6, and when you have your own time perusing through the primary science, which is the course book, primary science class 6, this topic runs from page 71 to 75. It is unit 10 in that book of primary science class 6. So this topic, as I've said, is a very short topic, and it has only two parts that we are going to cover. That is composition of gases, and then number 2, we are going to cover about uses of air or gases, if you want. This topic is very short, but it's very important in those people or the learners who are going to sit for KCP. Remember, this topic is a topic that it has had questions throughout from the year 2001 up to 2019. There is no any year of KCP that this topic has missed a question in the paper. For instance, from the year 2008 to 2019, we have had 15 questions in the paper of KCP. Imagine that. So it's a very important topic. As I'm going to cover, take note of it, remember what I say, and it's going to assist you as a learner, as a candidate to pass your exam of KCP 2020. So, to remind you again, it's a topic which is very short from page 71 to 75. Let us start. Let us start on this. So when you talk of composition of gases, what's a gas? Remember, air is a mixture. Air is a mixture of gases. Air is a mixture of gases. When I talk of the gases, there are many components of air. So these gases are, one, we have what you call as oxygen is one of the gases. Number 2, we have what you call as nitrogen is one of it. Then we have another one we call as carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is among the gases which are very important. Then lastly, we have what you call as rare gases. Rare gases. Rare gases, we can also call it inert gas. We can also call it inert gas. Inert gases. So those are the examples of gases, because we've said that air is a mixture of gases. So it's made up of the oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and rare gases. Many times you'll find that they'll bring a question, or in the book, you will have what you call as a circle representing all these gases. Apart from this, before I can advance ahead, apart of this, we have also two other things found in the atmosphere. So other substances found in atmosphere, but they are not part of air. Other substances found in atmosphere, but they are not part of air, are, but they are not part of air, are, one, we have what we call water moisture. We have water moisture. Also, we have what we call dust particles. dust particles. So those are the things that we can find in atmosphere, which also can make up that. So let us have this one in a drawing, which is shown in this manner. We draw a circle like this. That's too small. Let me enlarge it. Let us have a big one. Like that. So that is a circle that you are going to use to represent gases. To represent gases. Okay. So these gases, as I've said, they are found in atmosphere, but they vary in their percentages. They vary in their volume. Not all of them are the same in atmosphere. Like we can have this sector, like that. Then we have another one like this. Then there's another one like this. So you'll find that this top sector here, this part here, is showing or representing carbon dioxide. This one shows carbon dioxide. Then there is this part here which is showing rare gases. Rare gases. Then there is this part here which we call as oxygen. Oxygen. The larger part of this pie chart or this drawing is showing nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas. Remember, this drawing here was brought one time in KCP 2012. This one here alone. How to label. 2012 question 20. 2012 question 20. We had a question which was showing you label them. Which part is for which type of gas. So that part, assuming it was now that time, you could have got it right. I repeat, the pie chart here shows the composition or a mixture of air, which is the gases. We have number one, carbon dioxide, the smallest part. Number two, the second smallest is rare gases. Number three, the third smallest or the second largest part is oxygen, and the largest gas in volume or in percentage is nitrogen, which is this one here. So we move ahead. We are now going to look at what we call as, let us first of all have their percentages. Nitrogen is about 78%. If you are asked which percent is it, that is 78%. Then oxygen is about 21%. Then rare gases is about 0.97% in volume. Then carbon dioxide is the smallest part, which is 0.03%. Remember, this is very, very important. Each sector, each type of gas is very important. So we come on what we call as uses of gases. Uses of gases. Uses of gases. Remember, each gas has a very important role or has importance. Before we go to that one, let me explain a bit about these two, which is about water, moisture, and dust particles. These two, they don't have percentage which is known, exactly known, whereby they change. These two, they keep on changing from time to time in atmosphere. That's a question that was brought in KCP 2009, whereby a question, which of the following substances found in atmosphere that keeps on varying from time to time, keeps on varying from time to time? That was water vapor or moisture and dust particles. They vary from 1 to 4%. It depends which time of the day and which place. Because if you go to a very cold place, the water vapor or moisture will be higher. If you go in a dry place that is dusty, there's a lot of soil being blown by wind, then you are going to have a lot of what? Dust in atmosphere. By your information, this one is very important for you also to note, as a science person, what makes the sky, when you look in the sky during daytime, during the clear sky, you see the sky appearing blue. Have you ever asked yourself, what makes that sky when you look at it to look blue or to appear blue? That will be dust particles, which are in the atmosphere, are the ones that make the sky to appear blue when you look at it from the earth. Now, uses of gases. Uses of gases. Let us start with what we call as nitrogen. Nitrogen gas. First of all, you need to know nitrogen is made up of 78% of atmosphere. It makes about 78% of atmosphere or the whole air. This one also can be known as 4 all over 5 atmosphere, which is 4/5, which means it is the largest amount or in volume. When we come to another thing about nitrogen, is that now we come to uses. Uses of nitrogen. Uses of nitrogen are now, number one, nitrogen is used by plants we call as legumes. When I talk of legumes, I hope you know them because you learned in your Standard 4, a topic known as plants, where you learned about leguminous plants. So, nitrogen is used by leguminous plants, for example, beans, peas, groundnuts, which is using that nitrogen to make protein in their seeds. Therefore, you can say is used by leguminous plants. Leguminous plants like beans, peas, groundnuts, to make proteins in their seeds. So that's a very important use of nitrogen. We also have another use whereby legumes or leguminous plants, change nitrogen gas into nitrates by the help of bacteria in their root nodules, into nitrates in the soil by the help of bacteria in the root nodules. Somebody may wonder, what is a root nodule? A root nodule, for example, just for drawing, if you have a plant like this, let me say this is a plant which is a leguminous plant, like that. Then, this plant here, on the roots here, when you look at the roots here, you'll find some swellings. Those swellings on these roots of this leguminous plant, this is a legume plant roots of a legume plant. So these ones here are called root nodules. Root nodules. Root nodules here, they contain bacteria. Root nodules contain bacteria. So this bacteria inside in the root nodules here is the one that changes or converts nitrogen gas into nitrate. And nitrate is a type of nutrient required by plants to grow in the soil. So we come to what we call as uses of oxygen. Uses of oxygen. Uses of oxygen. This question about nitrogen was brought in KCP 2013, which asked about various uses of gases, and in particular they wanted which one is the use of, which is used by legumes to make protein in the seeds. So let us come to number B, oxygen. Oxygen. As we know very well, oxygen is a very important gas to both human beings and plants. So you say it makes about 21% of atmosphere, which is of atmosphere, which is about 1/5 of it, which is 1/5 in volume. 1/5 in volume. So this oxygen has various uses. 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 This oxygen has various uses, as I'm going to show you immediately. So we move ahead. About this. As I was saying, oxygen has various uses. Uses of oxygen. Uses of oxygen. This one has various uses. So oxygen, one, is used in breathing. In animals. For example, human beings, we breathe in oxygen. Then number two, oxygen is also used during rusting. Is used during rusting. So the keyword is rusting. Then breathing, there is the keyword. Is used during rusting of metals. Metals made of iron. Metals made of iron. Number three, this oxygen also is used during germination. Is used during germination. Is used during germination of seeds. Germination of seeds. Number four, oxygen is also used for burning. Is used for burning. Is used for burning. Burning of fuels. So the key word is burning. Last one, a use of oxygen is used for respiration. Is used for respiration in plants and animal cells. So the key word is respiration. So I can emphasize this way. Uses of oxygen is used in breathing in animals, because when you breathe in oxygen, we are going to breathe out carbon dioxide. It's also used during rusting of metals made of iron. However, remember, some metals such as stainless steel, they don't rust. Then number 3 is used during germination of seeds. For the seed to germinate, among the conditions or factors required for the seed to germinate, apart from water and warmth, the seed also requires oxygen to germinate. Then number 4, oxygen is used for burning of fuels. Without oxygen, then burning cannot take place. Number 5 is used for respiration in plants and animal cells. What is respiration? Respiration is the combustion of the food nutrients which are now already in the body cells to produce either energy or chemicals for growth. For example, majorly, this respiration takes place during the night time. That's why it's now recommended that during the night time, if you have the flowers which are growing in your bedroom, you need to remove them. Because at night, those plants also will be breathing in oxygen for respiration. Therefore, the plant and you are going to compete for oxygen, which can cause suffocation or even death. Therefore, at night, don't keep growing flowers or plants in your bedroom, because you are going to compete for that. We move ahead about uses of oxygen. It's very, very important to know more about this, because this is where many questions do come in exam. Like when you check that question of 2011, number 11. 2011, number 11, we had such a question. Let us look at now demonstration on uses of oxygen, or experiments. Experiments on uses of oxygen. Experiments on uses of oxygen. So we are going to start with this one, which is very simple, and at least every person has ever come across this. We have, you need the following. You are going to require a glass, you require water, you require a candle, and then you require a matchbox. So this is how the experiment will look like. You have a glass like this. You invert this glass in a plate or a small basin of water. You invert it like this. After inverting, make sure the candle is already inside. By the time you invert this glass, make sure the candle is already stuck inside the plate or the water basin. Then this candle, you light it. You light it, which look like this. Then after you have lit, you lit the candle in the basin or a plate. You cover the glass. Then you have water inside, like this. So let me give you the proper way, the procedure, because one time they may ask you, which are the procedure of this. 1, I told you require the following items. You require water, you require a glass of water, you require a candle, you require a plate and a matchbox. Procedure. First, take the plate, place somewhere, then stick the candle on that plate, light the candle, Pour water on this plate or basin. Cover with a glass, transparent glass. So this one is either a plate or basin if you want. And then this one is a glass. Then this one is burning candle. Burning candle. And then we have this one is water. Now, first question they may ask you, what were the learners demonstrating? What were the learners demonstrating? So that's what we call as investigation or finding out. Be aware as a science learner, when you have a question on experiment, we usually have 3 questions. We have question 1, which is about investigation, also known as demonstration, also known as finding out. Then number 2, we also have what we call as observation. When the experiment is going on, what are you seeing? Then number 3 about an experiment is conclusion. What did you think about what you have seen in the experiment? So be aware of that. Many learners fail this question because they may ask you about investigation and you are taking an answer of conclusion. They ask you about observation and you take an answer of investigation. Be aware of that. So investigation. Investigation will be this demonstrates. This demonstrates that that oxygen, or if you want, part of air support burning. Then observation is a very big part which I'm going to outline here. Observation about this. Observation about oxygen. Observation will be observation about experiment on uses of oxygen. 1, the candle will go off after some time. The candle will go off after some time. Then number 2, another observation that you are going to see in this experiment is that So the first one is the candle will go off after some time. Number 2, immediately the candle goes off, then the water is going to rise. Water rises. Rises or increase. Or also you can say goes up. Water rises or increase in the glass. That's number 2. Number 3, the water will decrease in the plate. Water will decrease or go down in a basin, or if you want, the plate. Then number 4, another observation is that you are going to see some white smoke. Some white smoke in the glass. So those are the observations you are going to make. As I summarize about this, which is about uses of oxygen in experiment form. In experiment form, we are going to look at what you call as conclusion. We summarize with what you call as conclusion. Conclusion about uses of oxygen. Conclusion. One, conclusion, I say that is what you think about what you have seen. the candle will go off after some time. Remember, the candle cannot go off immediately, but it goes off after some time. Therefore, what makes this candle to go off after some time? One, the candle went off. The candle went off because oxygen or part of air that support burning, was exhausted. It has finished, that is. Number two, why do you think water rose or has risen in the glass? Why? So water rises in the glass here, that's glass. Why do water rise in the glass? Water rises in the glass because it is occupying the space left by what? Oxygen. Water rises in the glass to occupy the space left out by oxygen. So even you can know which amount of water is entering the glass. It's about 20 to 21% in volume. Therefore, we summarize as we finish up this part of ours today about conclusion number 3. Why do water reduce in the basin? Water reduces in the or plate because it is entering the glass. Then why do you think this white smoke was there? The white smoke was seen in this glass, demonstrating that the amount of air in the glass that is now more is carbon monoxide. So white smoke was seen in the glass to show the gas that do not support burning, So those are the observations. We have investigation, observation, and conclusion about uses of oxygen. And that one is now